Hey everybody, it's Becky. How are you today? Today is April the 1st, and well, as I'm recording April the 1st, you guys will see this on April the 2nd. And I know everybody saw my video about my March grab bag painting and the print errors on it. So I've been talking to some folks on Diamond Painting with Tita's Facebook group about who are also working on this painting. And I think we kind of have a bit of a game plan together for that. But I'm going to wait until after I'm done with A Dreamy Retreat, which is laying here in the background from us. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to April's painting. And so I thought you guys might like to kit that up with me. Let me shed some light on this situation. I am using one of my little 28 count box kits. These came from Temu. They are attached 4 at a time and just have a little flip lid. I've been really happy with these so far. For the most part, it's not as convenient to be able to move them around as in like the individual bottles that we usually use, but it works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making my labels. I just use these file folder labels, and I happened to pick up an almost completely full box of these at an estate sale one day. I think they were at like 75% off of $1, so I paid like a quarter for them maybe. Anyways, I just write several on here and then cut them apart and put them on the containers. So what I'll do is I'll just start by writing down my symbol code. I do prefer to work by symbol. I know not everybody does, but that's my preference, so that's what I do. So this one is letters and numbers that are in alphabetical order. And then we do come to some symbols, and I have looked this canvas over. It looks like it's printed in a normal fashion, so I think we'll be okay with this canvas. There's not a letter B. Bear with me while I write these down, because apparently I cannot think and write at the same time. All right, so our symbols are the plus sign, a arrow to the right, a minus, and an equals. All right, and then we'll open up our drills here. So this particular painting, let me zoom out on it a little bit here. We have a large dahlia flower, I believe that's what that is, and a couple of butterflies. So lots of variation in pinks and blues. Get these out. Oh, and before we get too far into this, I told you guys not long ago that I had ordered a new diamond painting from Temu. Let me show that to you right quick. Whoop, what is on that? There we go. This is just a small one. It came in today. It is a 30 by 30. I was thinking it was a 20 by 20, but it is 30 by 30, so even better. Nice. So the drills on this one did come pre-bagged in Ziplocs. Now I don't care for working with Ziplocs, just because the pinch action to get those open hurts my hands. So here is my Temu diamond painting that came today. A cute little, sorry about that bump, cute little frog with an umbrella. Let's see here. This was inspired by the diamond, or the frog that Lazy Retired Granny and Crafting with V did recently. But I saw this cute one with the little umbrella, and I thought he's adorable and I need him. He's only 20 colors, and it looks like we have just numbers and letters, everything in nice, neat, orderly fashion. So our background here will have a little bit of checkerboarding type confetti. It's not super confetti heavy, but pink and white in the little umbrella, and then blue underneath of it. And then more on this background where we've got some color blocking and then a little bit of checkerboard. So this will be a fun little one to do. This one, like I said, I got it on Temu, and I will see if I can link it down below. Sometimes by the time these come in, they're sold out on the website, so linking them doesn't do us much good. So if it's still available, I will put it in the description down below. It came in fairly decent condition. We've got one little crinkle there, but nothing that's going to stop us from painting it. And we'll take a quick look at those colors again. So yeah, and then of course standard boat and toolkit. So so we'll flip this one back over and get started on kitting that one up. I don't know if you guys can hear it outside or not, but it is pouring down rain here in Oklahoma. We are getting into storm season, which we're really used to around here. We, you know, we get these spring storms every year, and we've had some tornado warnings in northeast Oklahoma. And I do believe I've seen reports of some tornadoes that have touched down in other areas that are not terribly far from me, but far enough away that, you know, I'm not concerned about any sort of damage here, but I do hear it's kicking back up out there. So, all right, let's see. So what I'm gonna do on some of these colors, there's a lot in the packet, more than what my little containers here can hold. So what I will do is as I open them and pour into the drills, or pour into the containers, I may have to use, you know, 2 or 3 slots to pour them all in. And since we only have 22 colors here, I should have more than enough room to get all of these drills without having loose packs laying around. And I'm gonna go ahead and put them in order. So, like I said, it's storm season here in Oklahoma. Crafting with V, if you're watching, you probably have these same storms or something similar rolling through your area. We're not terribly far enough apart this storm may or may not reach you, but there's that possibility. So if you are getting this storm, please make sure you guys stay safe. And you know, we grow up really knowing and understanding the winter weather, or the severe weather, and that's kind of how we learn our geography here in Oklahoma. We watch we call it the Travis Meyer Show, which is one of our favorite local meteorologists. I don't know what we're going to do if he ever decides to retire. He's well beyond retirement age, but you know, we don't trust anybody but Travis. So one of the TikTokers I watch, who lives here in Oklahoma as well, explained it best. Our storm warnings are kind of like an avocado when you cut it in half. The way they color the things on the screen, you've got, you know, the pit of the avocado is the really spicy guacamole area where you're gonna like see the most severe part of the storm, and then the meaty part of the avocado is going to get some weather, but nothing like super severe. And then you got the peel of the avocado, where we just kind of color that part just so that they don't feel left out, but they're just going to get some rain. It's not going to be anything of consequence. So, but yeah, I thought that was a cute little TikTok, the way she explained for people new to our area. And she explained all about how you know, the weathermen, you know, the way they dress explains exactly what's happening. And, you know, we don't get concerned about the weather. Oops, sorry, I keep bumping you guys. I've got this camera in kind of a bad place. Let me see if we can move you out of my arm's reach a little bit. So for us, when our weathermen have their suit coat on and buttoned up, and, you know, they're just casually talking about the weather, everything's fine. There's, you know, you're gonna have a little shower, maybe a little thunder, nothing big, you know. Continue to go about your business kind of situation. And then as the weather gets more involved, then you start getting the jacket unbuttoned. And you know, if the jacket comes off, we're starting to get more serious. And then the next stage is the tie comes off. If their tie is off, we're getting ramped up. We're, you know, we've got storm chasers out. We're, you know, we're getting weather aware. But if you ever see the weathermen with their sleeves rolled up, no tie, no jacket on, we're getting some heavy storms at that point, and everybody had better be on alert, because something's coming, something's happening. So that's just what we have grown up with here in Oklahoma. I'm very, very blessed that the area that I live in has, you know, not had too many severe weathers. It's not in a really direct path. And so, let me write up a second label here. So I've been, you know, we get some severe weather, but not as bad as other areas of the state do. So, yeah, I don't worry too much about it. We've, you know, over the last several years done a lot of work on our trees, getting limbs that are in bad shape cut out so that they don't come down during a storm and things like that. So, that has helped, because of course, you know, if limbs come down, things get broken. I have one friend who lives not too far away, but not super duper close, who recently had she had a bad time with the storm that rolled through not too long ago, and ended up with such severe hail damage that her windows in her car got broken out. So it can and does happen in certain areas of our state, but it's not, yeah. It's one of those things that all you can do is make sure that you're well insured. So, make sure you know people who can get out and help protect against that damage quickly and things like that. So, ooh, goodness, I bet you heard that one. Splitting these number 9 between the two containers here. So number 9 is letter C. We're going to create a second label there. guess I probably could have done too wide on these, but I didn't. Save that other half for the next one that I have to double up on. So letter A and letter C, which is numbers 8 and 9, both needed 2 containers. And number 7 did as well. Number 10 probably will. So, I'm trying to think if there's been a time that I ever personally witnessed anything like super duper severe. And I think the only time I did, not long after we moved houses when I was a kid, we moved out into the country. And at that time we had a pretty severe storm, severe enough that my mother, who does not panic in a storm, actually put us in a hallway with mattresses over us, which is one of the protective skills that we learn here in Oklahoma. I went ahead and rewrote my label for letter E and wrote 2 of them because I didn't like the E that I did on the first one. So we do 2 small ones. At this rate, that pack of labels is going to last me my entire lifetime, I'm sure. Okay, letter H, number 11. But beyond that, I mean, you know, when I was a kid, we would practice tornado drills at school, which was, you know, get into the hallway so that we weren't on any exterior walls, and you kind of crouch down and cover your head. But it was nothing, you know, we knew that we were fine, we were safe. The school wasn't gonna, you know, wasn't gonna let us go unprepared. So we all knew what to do, and although we laughed and joked through the drills, we knew that had anything ever happened, they would have made sure we were all safe. The school buildings that I went to school in were so old and heavily built that I don't know that a tornado could have done much damage to it, to be honest with you. I mean, they were, you know, those old rock buildings that were built by the WPA or whatever. So, there's that one. I did see that my old school, and the school I went to was small. So, you know, when I say my school, I mean, I started attending there in 2nd grade, and I graduated from that same campus. It was a very, very small school. And, you know, they are just about to open a new building for the elementary school. And so that'll be exciting to see, you know, kids starting to go through a new building, and it looks really, really nice and fancy on the outside. And, you know, hopefully they have lots of good features for the kids, you know, as they're growing up. The building was pretty basic when we were kids. There was, like I said, it was a really, really old building, so there wasn't much they could do. Just a hallway with classes on each side was what we had. These kids today are, you know, getting all these new fancy buildings and, you know, really nice looking classrooms and things like that. Ours were all pretty plain. But, you know, we were there to learn. We didn't really care so much about the building. We probably didn't think too much about it back in those days. Let's see here. Letter P. Get on bag number 15 now, so we're getting close to kitting this up. What do I have going this month? For the month of April, I have a 4-day-long quilt retreat up in Kansas. And so I will be gone for that. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to take a diamond painting to work on in the evenings when I'm bored. We can stay at the sewing hall, which is their convention center, I think is what it is, for majority of the day. But if we get tired, if we get bored, whatever, we can always go back to our cabins. And then of course, if you're, I'm kind of surprised letter V fit all the way in there, but you got it. So yeah, if you want to bring other crafts, you can. But I do have a lot of quilting that needs to get done. So I'll be mainly focused on that while I'm gone. Then the last weekend of the month is our first quilt camp of the year for my quilt guild. And so I'll have more time to sew then, which means less painting time. But I'm trying to find a good balance between the two crafts. So, when you start getting into multiple crafts, you gotta find a balance in order to make sure that you're not just ignoring one craft or the other. And then of course, with me adding polymer clay in there, I'm gonna have yet another craft. Which I have started to get the supplies for that. I got myself a clay rolling machine, which is like a pasta sheeter. That way I can roll everything out flat and even. Picked that up at Hobby Lobby the other day. And I went to Dollar General to see if they had any clay so I could pick some up and start playing with it, because my Temu order with my clay has not come yet. It should be here any day now. I believe it's in Texas is what the tracking on it said when I looked earlier. So it should be here in the next day or two. But I kind of got to playing around with it a little bit, and I definitely decided I needed the rolling machine to flatten out everything. And the other tool that I want to order, which I'll probably order it on Amazon. They were relatively inexpensive on Amazon, so that's probably where I'll get that one. Let's see here. I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do. I don't know how much this has been in shot, but this packet here, number 20 and 21, I'm afraid that one or the other of those is probably going to go, probably even both will go into 2 containers. So I'm going to skip ahead to number 22 and put in this last container, and that way I can use this final one to put those 2 bigger packs into. Because I work by symbol and not by number, they won't appear to be out of order. If I skipped from, what was the last one I did, letter or symbol 19. So if I had put 19 and then 22, I just spilled my drills. If I had put 19 and then 22, that'd get really confusing. But since I'm using just the symbols, it will not be any problem at all. So 22 is the equal sign. I just have to make sure to remember to put the correct symbol on there. Stick into my scissors. So there's a lot of pretty blues and that green there. Okay, and then symbol 20 is the arrow to the right. So we'll put it on here, and we'll hold off on that one until we decide what we need to do compartment number wise. So I'm double checking myself, arrow to the right, number 20. So we're good there. So on my March painting, I did contact the seller on Amazon to see if there was anything we could do about the misprint on that one, and I never have heard back from them. So I'm gonna assume they're not gonna do anything. Whoops. Put another arrow to the right. There wasn't much that went into that second container, but had I kept trying to cram them in here, they probably would have fit, but I would have been spilling them every time I went to go pick them up. So our last one is our minus sign, and that's probably going to be the same situation. I'll probably have just a tiny little bit to put over into the next side. Anyway, so I contacted the seller. I didn't purchase these directly from Tiny Fun. The seller was, I don't know, I don't remember the name of the seller, but you know, I haven't had any luck, like I said, getting any answers out of them. And so I'm just going to kind of leave that other painting until I am ready to work on it. Like I said, it'll be after Dreamy Retreat. So there we are, all kitted up. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors that I have double containers on, which worked out perfect because I used all 24 of my little slots in this container. And everything's labeled and right next to each other, so nothing's out of order. Like I said, I did move the equal sign up ahead of the minus sign, but nobody's ever going to know that but you and I. So anyway, so there's that all kitted up. I'm going to take my empty bags and take those to the garbage. And then from here, I believe I'm going to jump off of here and get this uploading. And then I'm going to head to bed. We have runoff elections here in my town that I need to go vote in tomorrow. The race for city councilman for my ward was really tight, so they're doing a runoff election. Trying to figure out where this rogue drill goes. I think it's letter N. Yep, that's it. There we go. So I've got to go in the morning and vote so I can get that done before I go to work. You might check your local areas and see if there's anything on the ballot in your area, because of course, you know, we need to make sure our voices are heard these days. You guys have a great night. I'm going to go sleep through these storms because that rain and the thunder is just like super, super calming to those of us who have grown up in it. You crazy people and your earthquakes and your wildfires can keep them. I'm going to stick with my thunderstorms. Everybody have a great night, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.